And welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Jonathan here with you guys. We're going to be going over our Week 11 start sits for tight ends. And let's get right into it. We have Thursday night, Bengals at the Ravens, looking at Irv Smith and Mark Andrews. This is going to be a pretty simple one. We know where this one's going. Irv Smith is going to be a sit. The Bengals use a lot of those other weapons there. And Mark Andrews for the Ravens, he's been putting up tremendous numbers. And this is going to be a good rivalry matchup where I think they're going to be using Andrews. They're going to need to use Andrews, especially towards the red zone. So Lamar Jackson's going to be finding him this week. You definitely want to have Andrews in your lineup. And then as far as Sunday goes, we got our 1 o'clock Steelers at Browns. We're looking at Connor Hayward and Darnell Washington for the Steelers since Pat Freiermuth is on IR. So it's looking like Hayward and Washington will be splitting snaps, so it will be tough for both of them to be getting points. So I'm definitely going to have to sit both of them over the past couple weeks since Freiermuth has been gone. They've contributed almost nothing, so both obvious sits. And as far as David Njoku goes for the Browns, I definitely want him in there. I'm going to start him this week against the Steelers. Deshaun Watson is starting to find him more and more, and he's getting more involved in the offense. He's actually catching passes better, and he's an elusive player. So Njoku's definitely going to be a start for you this week. And then next up, we got the Raiders at Dolphins. We got Michael Mayer for the Raiders, Smythe for the Dolphins. Michael Mayer is going to be a cautionary start, guys. So when I say that, you might want to put him in your lineup, but if you have one of these tight ends that are a start, definitely put one of those guys in. But this could be a reliable guy. He's definitely going to get points against the Dolphins, that's for sure. It's just a matter of how much. This could be one of those games where he puts up his season high. So I would not be too surprised if Mayer has a very good week, so do not be afraid to play him. As far as Smythe goes, though, for the Dolphins, I do not want to play him against the Raiders defense. And Smythe, really, at the end of the day, they don't use him. He doesn't put up enough numbers for me to start him, and I don't think nobody should want him starting in their league. And then as far as the Bears and Lions go, that's the next game we're looking at. Cole Kmet, Sam Laporta. We know how simple that comes. Sam Laporta, easy start against the Bears, who's struggling on defense. Sam Laporta, his usage might go down a tiny bit with Montgomery back and with Jahmyr Gibbs firing on all cylinders. So Sam Laporta's still going to get the ball, so he's definitely a start. He just may be a little more limited than he has been in the past 2-3 weeks. And as far as Cole Kmet goes, he's going to be a start. The Lions have a very good defense, but this Bears offense does not have a lot of weapons besides DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. They actually, I think they had the same amount of receptions over the past couple weeks. So Cole Kmet definitely is getting the usage, getting those receptions. So he's definitely going to be a start against the Lions. Next up, we're going to the Titans at Jaguars, Okonkwo and Ingram. I'm going to have to sit both of them. Okonkwo I usually do have as a sit, I'm not going to lie, just because of the Titans offense, their quarterback situation. So and Okonkwo really hasn't produced enough points in general, so he's going to have to be a sit. I don't think Okonkwo has had over 10 points in a game, maybe one of them, but that's not good enough. So he's definitely a sit. Evan Ingram is going to be a sit as well, and that's a lot of it has to do with Trevor Lawrence and how he's playing. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is playing not good at all, and the only receiver that's actually producing something is Christian Kirk. So Evan Ingram is going to have to be a sit against a good Titans defense. The next game we're going to be going to is Chargers at Packers. As far as tight ends go, Gerald Everett, Donald Parham for the Chargers. And this is going to be one we're going to have to keep an eye on. Again, I'm recording this on Tuesday, so we're going to have to keep this injury in mind. But Gerald Everett is questionable. He's day-to-day. He had a back injury in Sunday's game this past week, and so we're really still seeing how it plays out. So you're going to have to keep an eye on that. And if he does play, I think he's a good cautionary start. He might not be one of the top 5, top 8 tight ends, but he's definitely going to get some points if he does play. Now, on the other hand, if Donald Parham is playing and not Everett, then I'm definitely going to put him as a cautionary start. Donald Parham is a good tight end. And obviously, we know what Justin Herbert can do, and Parham can definitely get points when he's down there in the red zone. And so I definitely think he definitely could be put into your lineup. I wouldn't bank on him by any means, but he might be a guy you want to pick up or maybe put in there if you have a guy on bye, maybe from the Colts or Atlanta, New Orleans, or what's the other team? New England that's on a bye. So maybe want to put him in there, but don't expect too much. And as far as the Packers go, Luke Musgrave, he's going to be a start this week. He hasn't had the best year by any means. Jordan Love has been very inconsistent. This whole Packers offense is really not what we're used to seeing over the years. However, Musgrave this week against the Chargers, it's a great matchup for him, and I do see him getting the ball. He's been getting the ball more and more the past few weeks, and I think that's going to continue against a struggling Chargers defense. Next up is the Cardinals at Texans. We're looking at Trey McBride, Dalton Schultz. Okay, we're going to start both of these guys. Trey McBride, ever since Zach Ertz has been gone, has been going off, and now he's got Kyler Murray throwing him the ball, and he had an amazing week last week. So Trey McBride is going to be an easy start against the Texans defense, and Dalton Schultz, he's going to be a start even though the Cardinals have a great defense, especially against tight ends. They're one of the best in fantasy at holding tight ends to a low amount of points. So I will say that, but Dalton Schultz is going to be a start just the way C.J. Stroud's been playing. It doesn't really matter who the defense is. Schultz is still going to be putting up points, so you definitely want him starting in your lineups. Next up is the Cowboys at the Panthers. Jake Ferguson. For the Cowboys, he's going to be an easy start again. The Panthers do have a good defense against tight ends, but this is just like a Schultz situation. Ferguson is going to be starting either way, especially over the past 2, 3, 4 weeks. Ferguson has been playing very well. He's a rookie. Dak Prescott likes him, and I do see him having a very good game against the Panthers. Now, as far as the Panthers tight ends go, Hayden Hurst, Tommy Tremble, don't even have to worry about. However, he could be starting this week, and that's because Hayden Hurst is going to be in concussion protocol, so he is questionable. Again, this is Tuesday, so you want to keep an eye on that if he is on your team. So keep an eye on that, but either way, I would not want to start Hurst or Tremble. So if Hurst is your starting tight end, you might want to find some other options there in the waiver. Next up, Giants and Commanders. This is going to be a tough one. So for the Giants, we're looking at Lawrence Cager and Dan Bellinger ever since Darren Waller went out. Now, Lawrence Cager hasn't really been playing much, but he had a couple catches and a touchdown last week. And so it makes me think that this DeVito guy and him might have some chemistry, and the Giants might want to try to pursue this a little bit more than Daniel Bellinger. So Daniel Bellinger is definitely going to be a sit for me. I don't see him producing much points at all. But Lawrence Cager, he's going to be a sit as well. But I will say this. He's going to be a sit for this week, but you want to keep an eye on it, and you may want to pick him up in your fantasy just for the final few weeks. So just keep an eye on that. And then as far as the Commanders go, Logan Thomas, he's going to be a cautionary start. And I say cautionary because the Giants they don't have the best defense. The Commanders can easily get him the ball. So he does have potential to have a very good day. However, I would not bank on that. So Thomas is going to be a cautionary start. You may or may not want to play him depending on what you have going on, but don't be scared to play him if you have to. And that does it for our 1 o'clock games. Going to 4 o'clock, we're looking at Bucks and 49ers. First 4 o'clock game. Cade Otton, George Kittle. It's a pretty simple one again. Cade Otton, I'm going to have to sit him. He's had a couple good games this year, but this one in San Francisco is not going to be one of them. I can guarantee you that. So he's definitely going to be a sit this week. And George Kittle, as he usually is going to be a start against a good Bucs defense. However, Brock Purdy's been firing on all cylinders as of lately. I know he had a couple rough games, but he's definitely back to prime form. So he's going to be finding George Kittle, and that's for sure. The next 4 o'clock game we're going to be going to is the rivalry between the Jets and the Bills. We got Tyler Conklin and Dalton Kincaid. This is going to be another simple one. We know Conklin's going to be a sit. We know Kincaid is 100% going to be a start. Kincaid has been showing up this rookie year of his, and with the injury of Dawson Knox, it only makes it that much easier for him. So that's a simple start and sit for both of them, honestly. The next 4 o'clock game is the Seahawks at the Rams. Noah Fant, Tyler Higbee. They're both going to be sits for me. Noah Fant has not done shit this year. Not impressive at all. The Seahawks have other weapons they like to use. And as far as the Rams go, Tyler Higbee, he played 91% of the snaps last week and had 1 target. Now, the head coach did say that he was having some sort of hand issue or thumb issue or maybe both. And so that could be messing with him a little bit, and they're trying not to target him too much. So either way, the Rams, we're going to have to sit Tyler Higbee this week. Do not put him in your lineup. Don't bank on any points from him. Not a good move. And then the Sunday night game, we got the Vikings at Broncos, TJ Hawkinson, Adam Troutman. Troutman, he's going to be a sit. I'm not going to go over that very much. TJ Hawkinson, he's going to be a start, though, against the struggling Broncos defense. As we know, Hawkinson has been getting the ball. Dobbs has been playing very well. And now Alexander Madison is questionable as well. So Justin Jefferson does have the chance at coming back this week, which could always take a little bit off TJ Hawkinson. But at the same time, guess what? It can open it up for him too, because the defenses are going to be looking right at Jet, and they're not going to be looking at Hawkinson quite as much, is a possibility. So either way, Hawkinson is going to be a very solid start. And then last but not least, we got our Monday night game, Eagles at Chiefs. If you're not excited for this game, maybe you're not a football fan. Tight ends, Dallas Goedert, he's going to be out. They say he's doubtful right now. It's Tuesday, but it's not looking good for him at all. He's most likely going to be out, and replacing him will be Jack Stoll. I don't have a lot of faith in Jack Stoll. I don't know if you Eagles fans do, but I think the Eagles are going to be finding a lot of A.J. Brown, a lot of Devonta Smith, and that's that. So Jack Stoll's going to have to be a sit. And then that brings me to our final tight end king, Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. We all know we want to start him, and if I could put a start, I would, but we got to wait and see if Taylor Swift is going to be there. So if Taylor Swift is going to be there, make it a plus start, okay? And that will do it for all of our Swifty jokes of the day. This is Jonathan here with you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tight end, Week 11 start sits. Let me know what you guys think. Go like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And most of all, have a great weekend.